Many will think what I say today is madness, but this General Motors Company Sierra Electric is much better in many ways, maybe most of them, than the gasoline version. In fact, I assure you that by the end of this video, many will choose this electric version over the gasoline version. And I'll read your comments. First off, this cabin has a trick that makes it a dream truck. And in terms of technology, even though the gasoline version is pretty advanced, what this one offers you is truly insane. However, both the gasoline version of the General Motors Company Sierra Denali and this electric one have their drawbacks that really worry their owners. And I'll tell you more about that later in this comparison I'm going to do between the gasoline General Motors Company Sierra and the electric one. Welcome. I'm going to the studio because it's 100 degrees here. I'll have air conditioning and can finish telling you the whole story there. With the cool air conditioning, I can talk to you more calmly about some things, although I'll be going back out there, to the battlefield, outdoors, where there were some things I preferred to show you from there. But let's talk about the design and versatility, both of one and the other. Let's start with the General Motors Company Sierra gasoline version. The 1500 Denali Ultimate has an interior with premium finishes, real wood, heated seats, you have ventilated seats, also real leather, plenty of space in a very spacious double cab, good ergonomics and visibility. General Motors Company provides all that. Gasoline Sierra, as well as the multi-pro tailgate with integrated step and power outlets for that rear bed. The electric Sierra. When I say electric Sierra, I always think of those electric saws, but anyway, Sierra Electric Vehicle Denali. This edition has a more modern interior, more minimalist, more modern than the gasoline Sierra. With a 16.8-inch curved screen in a vertical position, you have fully foldable rear seats. That's the trick I wanted to mention. That's called the mid-gate, which means the middle gate that connects the bed with the central cabin. I think that gives it great versatility, turning the cabin into a sea of possibilities for people who have long loads, wooden planks, pipes, long polyvinyl chloride. I don't know. Can you imagine what you could use and how it lets you carry objects over 3 meters long by connecting the cabin with the bed? That's why it's one of those premium features that the electric version has, which the gasoline version doesn't. And speaking of storage and versatility, another thing about the electric version's design is the E-trunk, which is the front trunk. The gasoline version lacks a front trunk because that's where the engine is. Without a gasoline engine, this one offers a front trunk. It has a capacity of 330 liters, it's sealed with the key, and it has additional power outlets. So that's a big advantage that an electric truck like this gives you, instead of a gasoline one. That's where the electric vehicle truck excels. As I mentioned at the end of the video, you'll tell me which one you'd choose, considering all the advantages the electric truck offers. More ambient lighting, too. That's on the inside. And you have dual wireless charging in the electric Sierra. In this section, let's say, in this category, the electric one would win. Because of versatility, smart design, and real functionality for carrying long items without compromising the cabin, something that limits you in the gasoline version. Now let's talk about power, towing capacity, and range. Sierra gasoline, 6.2-liter V8 engine, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque towing capacity. Wow. Up to 13,200 pounds. Oh my God, wow. Fuel consumption, 15 mpg city, 20 mpg highway. It's a gas guzzler. Why? Because it's a V8. But the chainsaw, the Denali Sierra electric vehicle, has a combined power with two motors of 754 horsepower. The electric one wins there in power. Torque, 785 horsepower, 5 pound-feet of torque, instant torque. Why? Because it's electric. Tows up to 10,000 pounds, which is 3,000 pounds less than the gasoline version. The gasoline Sierra tows more, obviously. Range up to 440 miles. That's 708 kilometers with a maximum range battery. Like this truck I'm showing you, the one I had the chance to test this week. 708 kilometers of impressive range. Estimated consumption is 1.9 miles per kilowatt hour. That means it's 12 cents per mile with residential charging. The gasoline one beats it in towing, but in acceleration and overall range, the electric one is impressive, especially with that instant torque that makes it fly when you step on it. Let's continue with the technology and comfort category. What features does the gasoline Sierra provide? A 13.4-inch horizontal screen, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, and a 360-degree surround camera with Google Apps integration. You have CarPlay, Android Auto. You also have Hill Start Assist and Cross Traffic Alert. These are features that come standard or as standard equipment for the gasoline Sierra. It features a striking 16.8-inch vertical screen. I like it even more. More intuitive in a tablet-like format. It features the 14-inch HUD display, digital projection in front of the windshield, and the Super Cruise system. Hands-free driving on the highway, compatible with towing. Of course, the Sierra gasoline also has that. Four-wheel steering with crab walk mode, also called crab mode, was already seen on the Homer and Sierra. Electric vehicle. You can move like this, sideways. You have 10.2 kilowatts of bidirectional output, which means you can charge tools, appliances, or even power your house. In case of a blackout, you can send power to some appliances. Here, I think the electric saw wins easily. For driving impressions, the gasoline saw offers a more robust yet comfortable ride. The V8 gives a progressive response. Otherwise, the electric offers instant torque. It handles corners well for its size. I recently told you about one. Less weight, it's more agile in the city. And the engine sound is much more present because we're talking about a V8. The sound of the electric one is like this, absolute silence. Brutal response when accelerating. If the electric gives you that because of the instant torque, four-wheel steering makes maneuvers easier, but the weight of almost 9,000 pounds is noticeable. The regenerative braking of the electric one can feel a bit abrupt at first, until you get used to it. And in terms of steering, sometimes it doesn't feel that communicative. And when you're behind the wheel then, for daily use and driving pleasure, here, in this aspect, in this category, the gasoline one, but in acceleration and maneuverability, in the city or with traffic, the electric one offers you a unique and advantageous experience. And now, let's talk about prices. About buying one with what the other one costs you. If you're enjoying the video, like and subscribe to the Freddy Car Power 360 community. It's important that you subscribe because if you don't, that's not good. It could be the last time you see me, because that's how this YouTube algorithm works. So, welcome to the community. Now then, prices. Regarding the price of the General Motors Company, the electric Sierra versus the gasoline one, the gasoline one starts at $83,000. I'm talking about the General Motors Company Sierra Denali. That luxury version remains stable in terms of its resale price, although starting around 2023, it experienced a slight drop in its resale value. What about the electric one? It'll cost nearly $15,000 more than the base price. It starts at $98,000 and equipped like this one, $102,000. But anyway, let's stick with the base price. $15,000 difference between one and the other. And when it comes to resale value, the gasoline one wins by a landslide, because the resale value of this one really depreciates a lot. It's one of its weak points, fragile points, because that's something almost all electric cars have. That hope of an electric vehicle having a good resale value. Right now, it seems like a fantasy because they're all dropping dramatically. But I also told you about challenges and reported problems. Both have thorns, that's what I told you. Let's see what happened, or what has happened to the Sierra. Gasoline version. Well, has it had a recall or a service call in 2024? For 6.2-liter engines due to a crankshaft failure that can cause loss of power. It's a serious problem that I've talked about in other videos. There have been complaints about high fuel consumption in the city and minor electrical problems like the pressure sensor and automatic lights. These are small issues that have been reported with the Sierra gasoline, the regular one, let's call it that. The electric vehicle already had a recall, a service call in January 2025, recently due to a fault in the rear center seatbelt. It has also had reported problems with rapid wear of the 24-inch tires, which are huge tires, and honestly look really nice. There have been occasional failures in the Google Integrated System interface. These are some of their complaints. Its heavy weight limits its usefulness for off-road tasks. I went off-road briefly with the electric one, but honestly, nothing beats the gasoline version in that regard. Both have had problems, but the electric version is still in its first year of production, so there's more uncertainty. And the verdict, finally. Well, in conclusion, which one would you choose? Which one would I choose? There are several factors to consider. The General Motors Company's Sierra Electric obviously has some pretty advanced technology features, where it's superior to the gasoline version. The versatility of the cabin, that mid-gate trick that's like a dream. Combining the cabin with the bed with the cargo box, that's really great. Honestly, it's something that, like I said at the beginning, makes it a dream cabin because of that kind of versatility. And for many people, the long-term cost will be useful. In terms of fuel consumption, obviously it's going to use more gasoline. It's already been proven that the costs for electric charging with this version are going to save you money in the short, medium, and long term, much more than the gasoline version, the General Motors Company's Sierra gasoline version. Well, in terms of driving experience, I'm more drawn to an organic, natural feel, but I'm still most attracted to having an engine right under the hood. Also, more towing capacity, depending on what your priorities are. Personally, I would like to be like a hybrid. I would like them to bring over the virtues, the exemplary, spectacular features of the General Motors Company Sierra Electric, and put them into the gasoline version, the ones that can be, obviously. That would be something sensational, and that would be, let's say, I still prefer the gasoline one, but wow, this one has hit the post, as they say in soccer. It's really well done. The thing is, it still has its challenges that we all know about. Which one would you choose? Let me know down there in the comments. I'll read your comments and send a big hug. Check out the related video I'm sharing. It's great. Subscribe to the channel. Bye.